Hello and welcome back. My name is Chris, and this reading is for the general collective of all signs as we experience the super full moon in Capricorn. It won't be for everyone watching, so if it resonates, comment below, and if not, please check my channel for other messages you need to hear. And remember, time, energy, gender are all fluid. Reverse roles however they apply to you, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss future readings. So first off, thank you so much to all of my new and returning subscribers. You guys are awesome. For those of you who have been sticking with me for a while, thank you for all of your stories, your comments, just your energy in general. And to those of you who are new, please check the description box for all the ways you can reach me, including social media, my websites, and a link to my new channel, Woo Works LLC, where I'll be doing things like guided meditations and spiritual advice coming this fall. So if you like that sort of thing, please click over and subscribe and share with someone else that you love. So guys, this reading is, again, it's for all signs, and so it will be general. If you are sticking around till the end of the reading, keep in mind there will also be a giveaway. So if you've been subscribed or you're just waiting on that, it will be at the end. And for those of you who would like to skip astrology talk, please click into the comments and you'll see the timestamp below that will take you straight to the reading. So guys, shit has been hitting the fan in many ways. And so as we have just moved out of the eclipse tunnel and Mercury has stationed direct, entering Cancer season, there's been a lot of themes surrounding communication and true emotions and things rising to the surface, perhaps that we had been hiding before. And so as the chaotic energy of eclipse season is now coming to a close, perhaps a lot of you experienced situations or things that happened that felt either destined or essentially you felt as if it was meant to happen, right? Things out of our control. Now, with Cancer season coming, it's going to be an opportunity for us to, like I said, be honest about our true emotions, how we're really feeling about things, and to see things for how they truly are, okay? And so I'm not sure if you guys remember my previous collective readings where we talked about the Seven of Swords. Perhaps some of us were hiding things from ourselves or hiding the truth because it was an easier pill to swallow, okay? So now that we have come through the eclipse tunnel and Mercury is stationed direct, communications about these deeper feelings might be a little bit more easy to deal with, okay? So keep in mind, we've also got other things still in retrograde, Pluto, Saturn, now Jupiter and Neptune joining the party. So it's going to be very interesting energy. But overall, with supermoons, this is a time where, like I said, things are going to be called out of us or brought to the surface. And even in Forever Conscious, I was reading their astrology article and they called it more of a lifting the lid off of something, or the lid coming off. And so for those of you who like to go even deeper, I urge you to check out websites like that, Forever Conscious, Cafe Astrology, to further learn more about these placements and your personal birth placements. That way you can really decipher how these energies will affect you personally. But in general, Capricorn is the energy of structure and rules, and it's also ruled by Saturn, which is the planet of karma, and that is also in retrograde. So the lid coming off, things coming to the surface, needing to release perhaps old wounds or regrets from the past that have been keeping you stuck, okay? Now is a time to see things more objectively and understand that the hard work you've been putting into your own spiritual journey, it's all been for a bigger purpose, right? So again, now that we've moved through the eclipse tunnel and we're coming out on the other side, you might see the manifestations now coming into place of what you were putting into the universe before the eclipse tunnel, right? Now is a time of major transformation coming to a close, but with all of these planets in retrograde still, it's not without forcing us to still review the past, okay? To rethink, review, revise, and really get in touch with what it is that we're trying to to manifest, okay? And so yes, the same themes kind of pop up in general surrounding every full moon: releasing, letting go of things, ending karmic cycles. But like I said, with the eclipse season, some of you may have noticed that some of these cycles you've been glossing over and like I said in the other collective, lying to yourselves about or refusing to acknowledge the truth, okay? So let's go ahead and just dig right in, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Moonology Oracle as I usually do. And so, of course, if you guys are resonating with what I'm saying here, again, there's other astrological things going on right now as well, but in general, that's the main message that I'm getting for this full moon. So seeing things objectively and continuing to stand our ground in the work that we've done, and trusting that these truths that are being revealed to us are for our greater purpose. So keep in mind that this is going to be a reading surrounding a little bit of the past, what's going on presently, and then also what will be leading us up to the new moon cycle. If what I'm saying resonates with you, please comment below. Feel free to share the stories or the ways in which you have seen these destined or fated scenarios play out in your life over the last month, or even if you just want to vent about your feelings. Feel free to comment, or like I said, reach out to me via email. But this message is for all signs, so don't force the message to fit, okay? So what do we have for the collective from the Moonology Oracle when it comes to the general surrounding energy? What is the general surrounding energy for the collective at this time? Okay, so we've got quite a bit coming out, and first off, we've got be bold and make the first move, and the energy is gaining momentum. So like I mentioned earlier, now is the time where we're going to start seeing the manifestations coming into fruition in the physical world. And so this is Spirit's way of reminding you that, especially with Mercury now stationed direct, it's going to be a time of forward movement and action taking place, okay? So whether you are being called to take action in your own life, or you're taking this reading as confirmation for a relationship situation, it might be time to consider the ways in which you have already taken action, and understand that that energy is what's pushing things forward, moving into the next couple of weeks, okay? So let's see what's on these two. So we've got the void, of course, moon, and the south node. So again, talking about the past. Don't let your past hold you back. When I see nothing will come of this situation, void, of course, is basically the time frame in which astrologically it is wise to just chill, lay back, relax. Don't worry about doing or manifesting things. Just allow things to be, right? So for some of you, maybe you've been feeling that momentum and that energy pushing behind you could make some of you feel kind of anxious or worried. But I think Spirit's reminding you that whether this is some sort of an empty threat coming from someone, or whether this is just you making things up in your mind or blowing something out of proportion mentally, they're reminding you that, nothing's really going to come of this, essentially. Even though the energy is building, or you might feel like it's an insurmountable energy, perhaps it's because of the way that you have operated in the past. And remember, I always say the past is what shapes us for our future. So if there are things that you're holding on to from the past, if there are things like guilt or shame or any of those negative energies, now is the time to release them in order for you to be able to move forward. If you're gonna just ride the wave of momentum, but you're doing it with fear, you're only going to repeat the mistakes of your past. Okay? If you're going to ride the energy of the wave with positivity and trust that Spirit and that the universe, God, your angels, everyone's got your back, and nothing is going to come of this, in a sense that you are protected and safe, then you should be able to manifest your new vision, okay? But it's going to require a lot of you to take action. So let's go ahead and dig even further with the Light Seers Tarot. I was feeling really drawn to this deck today. So let's talk about the recent past specifically. I feel like someone handed me that card. So look at that. We've got the Wheel, which is destiny. Okay, this is destiny. It's fated things, situations that we were just talking about in the main message. So I see the Wheel of Fortune as basically trying your luck, right? You spin the wheel of life and you never know whether you're going to be, exalted or shitted on. You don't know if you're going to rise to the top or you're going to sink to the bottom. But ultimately, there are fated things and destined events and people that you're made to meet that are supposed to happen, okay? There is some sort of structure. And even though we have free will, if something is destined or fated, no matter which path we decide to take, we will still end up at those destinations, okay? So in the recent past, I think a lot of you have been closing out karmic cycles and realizing where maybe you have tried to delay destiny in the past. And this message actually came up in, I think, a couple of zodiac readings that I just did. So very interesting, the themes that are coming out. So let's talk about the present. What is happening under the full moon in Capricorn? 4 days before, 4 days after. What is the general energy for the present? Okay, so we've got 2. Wow. Oh my gosh, we've got 3. So we've got 2 aces and a page of pentacles. So let's start out with the Ace of Cups, okay? Like I said, this is about feelings and communication. This reading is insane. Like, you guys, you can't even make this shit up. Ace of Cups is about emotions. Ace of Swords is about communication and the mind. So right now, that is what is coming to the surface. Point blank, period. How are you feeling? How are you communicating? And how are you taking that energy and using it to plant the seeds of your future? Okay, the Page of Pentacles is quite literally a student or again, planting the seeds for a new beginning and actually taking action. It is a really slow moving energy, you guys, but the Page of Pentacles is cautious and dependable because they don't just take risks. They don't just throw themselves out in front and not think or try to build a stable foundation first. This is something, for a lot of you, this is something that you've been holding dear to you and wanting this to manifest into the physical for a very long time, okay? But what's been required of you is to learn these lessons of these major themes: true love and honest communication, and how that is manifested into your life through your actions. For some of you, this might be really an overwhelming time. You might feel as if you are essentially like drowning in your emotions inside of your mind, because we have this swirling energy, but deep down, this is about love. Okay, this could also be about a child for some of you. For some of you, this could be about starting a new relationship, meeting the love of your life. But also the Ace of Swords can be an unexpected message coming in, clarity, truth. And I see this light coming out of this spiral staircase, and we're talking about maybe ways we've lied to ourselves in the past, or the lid coming off and discovering the things that we've been like denying or glossing over. Look at how intricate and windy this staircase is in order to get to that information. Some of you have had to deal with a very long series of mental games, quests, tests, however you refer to them, in order to come to these very important realizations, okay? Wow, so really interesting messages coming out so far, and this is what's going to be discovered, or the energy of the present. Now let's get some energy for what's to come as we progress through Cancer season. For the collective, please, what is to come as we move through Cancer season? All right, so we've got the Seven of Wands. So I love that we've got the fire energy popping up for the future, considering as after Cancer season and through the new moon, we will be coming into Leo season, which is the season of strength, power, will, connected to our solar plexus chakra. Right now, we might be kind of forced or guided to dealing with these deeper emotions during Cancer season, start of summer. Everything's opening back up, and people are showing who they are after a lot of them being in quarantine and isolated for about a year now. So whatever revelations you're having, it's setting you up for Leo season, which is going to be a time for you to stand in your power and protect yourself and protect your energies. Okay, I see this as someone actually manifesting a protective bubble around them and using the energy of their will and solar plexus to stay balanced and charged. Okay, as you can see, we've got all of these wands coming at this person, but nothing is actually able to pierce or penetrate the energy of that protective shield. So Seven of Wands is also the warrior card. It's someone who is standing up for what's right and defending themselves, and that may be what's required coming forward into the season of Leo. Okay, so just remember, you guys, stay balanced, stay charged, stand in your personal power, and exercise your will. Okay, may your will be done. Anything that you are trying to manifest right now, as long as it's for the good of yourself and others and you don't mean to harm anyone, stay in that power and stay in that energy. Okay, you're going to be needing that strength to push forward. So let's get some clarity as well. And also I want to look at the bottom of the deck. So in the processed energy, the Three of Wands, we're talking about things slowly manifesting, and that's what this energy is here. You are going to start seeing the manifestations and seeing your ships coming in. And for those of you who have been waiting for a long time and trying to manifest whatever this is, trust and believe that the time that has gone by or that was spent waiting for whatever this is, that time was necessary in order to get you in a place that could make you strong enough for what's to come. Okay, so let's talk about some clarity cards. And I'm going to use the Sun and Moon Tarot. It's actually the tarot in a tin. I prefer the smaller decks, but let's clarify the recent past of the wheel. Right, so we've got the Prince of Swords, aka the Knight of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So we just came out of Gemini season. Again, the brutal, honest truth was rising to the surface, causing us to close out these karmic cycles. Some of you may have had to be very direct and perhaps even rude in order to stand up in your truth and let people know that you are not a force to be reckoned with, okay? Some of you may have had to, again, cut people off with your own tongue, and some of you may have put your foot in your mouth in a sense, or some of you may have over communicated or been a little too honest, but sometimes that's necessary in order for everyone to be on the same page of what the truth actually is. Okay, so for those of you who that resonates with, that is something that I just recently went through, and sometimes, you know, we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, we don't want to be rude, we don't want to come across as callous or uncaring or unfeeling, but if we don't stand in our truth regardless of how others feel, then we're only doing a disservice to ourselves. Okay, and remember that people are only capable of responding to you based on their own perception of the way things are, okay, their own perception of life and circumstances. You cannot be held responsible for the way someone perceives the world. You can only be responsible for your own truth. So let's get some clarity on the present energy. Okay, and we've got the Four of Cups. So some of you in the present could be feeling just discontent and unsatisfied with the way things have gone. the Four of Cups is the energy of focusing on the past, feeling as if maybe you missed an opportunity, but also it is the cup falling out of the sky in a sense, right? Perhaps some of you are seeing now where all of the shit that didn't work was because there was something better coming for you, because the divine needed you to walk down this windy ass staircase in order for you to see the truth of the things that you've been hiding or denying. Now we have this image of the lotus under the full moon, and we know that the lotus comes out of the mud, okay? So again, the trials, the tribulations, the energy, the love that you've put into the past situationships, it was because you needed to grow in the darkness, okay? This is the energy of peace now moving forward, and I think that acknowledging these emotions, acknowledging the way that you've actually played a role in the way the past has unfolded, it's going to allow you to see the open door and the light at the end of that tunnel. Now, coming in the future for the Seven of Wands, we have the Devil. So some of you, like I said, you could be very well competing or up against a very devilish energy, whether that's actually a person, or whether this is you personally fighting things like addiction or codependency. I see this also as like indulgence, and I'm thinking of the Friends and the Golden Girls tarot, where we have like Blanche with the cherry pie. Like, it looks so sweet and it looks so nice, but basically it's going to end up causing complications if you overeat and if you overindulge yourself in sweets and things like that. You could have medical complications in the future. With Joey, he's holding a slice of pizza. It's like all about temptation and manipulation, like showing the prize, but really what price do you have to pay in order to get the prize? What do you have to do? I mean, some of you may be faced with the question of whether or not to literally sign your soul over to the devil, okay? And so right now, I think that the word of caution moving forward is any situations that you felt stuck and bound to, this is like DEFCON 5. Like, we're on like the next level of now you're really gonna need to step up and fight and defend yourself. Perhaps some of you might be having to defend your family members, defend your truth, your stance on things, your morals, your values. And this is also the energy of Capricorn in the tarot, okay? So whatever this is for you, whatever specific situation that's coming up for you, I think Spirit just wants you to know that you are powerful and strong enough to overcome any of these energies, whatever it might be. And I'm hearing all bark, no bite. So I don't know, for those of you who watch like Riverdale and Sabrina, this reminds me of the Gargoyle King, okay? And so for those of you who know the storyline, it was that sort of a situation in a couple of episodes there where the mask was used to scare or strike fear into those who were on the defense. So keep in mind that sometimes people may threaten you verbally or mentally, or make you feel threatened in a sense. But what's behind that mask is only what you're willing to commit to, okay? It's only what you're willing to see. And so don't allow anyone around you to sugarcoat or to convince you or manipulate you into anything when you've already gone through all the trials and tribulations to see and recognize what the truth really is, okay? Some of you may be up against some real nasty characters coming up in the next couple of weeks. So I'll be sending my heart out to you all. And underneath the deck, we've got the Emperor. So for some of you, this could be a reading about your divine masculine counterpart, but ultimately this is a card of Aries. It's a card of taking control, a card of authority, power, will, all of the things we discussed. And as you can see, we've got the energy of the sun behind this man at his back. And so I think that in the process energy, to clarify for the Three of Wands, a lot of this is about coming into your true power and stepping into your highest self, okay? learning the lessons of the world, again with the karma, the wheel coming up, learning the lessons of the world, dealing with karmic cycles, and rising up into who it is that you're truly meant to be, okay? So let's go ahead and also get some energy oracle cards and see what is the potential challenging energy coming up in the next few weeks. Okay, so for some of you, the challenge coming forward is a broken heart and anxiety, okay? Perhaps it might be heartbreaking what's coming up. Perhaps there will be someone who ends up getting their feelings hurt, okay? But ultimately, I think that the challenge here is you perhaps overthinking about what's to come. Perhaps some of you are having a lot of trouble thinking about just that, okay? Maybe some of you do need to break someone's heart. Maybe some of you do need to let go of someone who, has been intertwined or woven into the fabric of your family or your friends' history, and you might be really worried or fearful about how those interactions are going to come about, which could be why you're getting into that warrior's pose, because you're already anticipating the worst. Okay, remember, you can't truly break a heart. Okay, you can hurt someone's feelings, and things always turn out in unexpected ways in which we end up getting our feelings hurt, right? But ultimately, if we worry about what's to come and we anticipate the worst, then what you're saying is that healing and hope and renewal isn't possible after these situations. And the anxiety and the fear is what's going to end up keeping you stuck and allowing those on the outside trying to enforce their way inside of your protective bubble to convince you that you're in the wrong for saying how you truly feel, or to manipulate you into feeling badly about how you made someone else feel. But you cannot control other people and the way that they feel about your truth, okay? And unfortunately, sometimes those sacrifices need to be made in order to stay true to who you really are. Oh my goodness, y'all. So let's go ahead and also get some energy from the Moon Oracle, which I will be giving away at the end of this reading. BT dubs. So here it is. Let me show you as everything else falls. So this is the Moon Oracle, and it's by Caroline Smith and John A. Straub. It is so gorgeous, and I used it in the Zodiac readings. So again, please check those out if you haven't already. But it's a gorgeous deck, and I love the meanings, so I will also be reading from the book. So let's get it started. What is the closing message for the general collective of all signs? Okay. Anything else? Anything else? I'm going to shuffle one more time. Okay. All right. So first of all, we have competitiveness and visitor. So the visitor card made an appearance in a lot of zodiac readings, so I'm not surprised that it's coming out as a part of the general theme moving forward. And so let's see what else we have as well. And revision. Okay, so I almost feel like this is chronological. We're going to be moving into the energy coming into the new moon, right? So let's talk about it. For some of you, this competitiveness could be exactly the energy I was referring to earlier. Someone who is going to try and maybe convince you that you are wrong for speaking your truth or wrong for feeling the way that you feel. But ultimately, anyone who is combative against your truth isn't, in my opinion, isn't meant to be in your life moving forward, okay? And I know that a lot of situations are not cut and dry, but when it comes to you operating in your truth and in your highest self, and people in your life want to be combative or compete with you over it, that's like a red flag right there, okay? And the visitor is a card about an unexpected relationship or connection. So let's go ahead and dig into it, and I will read for you. So When the moon moves to first quarter in fire, 90 degrees from the sun, its face is half dark, half light, and everything is held in balance. However, for the fire element, that is not enough. This phase produces a strong urge to push ahead, to bring things to your advantage. It encourages the desire to win. So perhaps for some of you, this could involve some sort of a third-party situation. And I say that, and I know it's boring, guys, but ultimately with this card here, for some of you, that could be the storyline. Perhaps you have felt the need to compete for someone's affection, or been made to feel like you weren't good enough. And I think that right now, what Spirit is trying to say with this be bold and make the first move, it's time to just turn the tables in your advantage in general, okay? Maybe some of you need to stop competing, or stop feeling as if, you need to compete with someone else in order to be seen or loved or chosen by your divine masculine, okay? So for some of you, this could come up as the energy of you needing to defeat the competition in order to make progress. So just keep that in mind if you're feeling that competitive edge during this time, to just kind of take a step back and be objective about how you're moving things forward. Remember, we talked about that in the beginning. Don't allow the decisions of your past and the quote unquote mistakes of your past, although there are no mistakes, okay? Don't allow those things to drive your future. For some of you, like I said, there is an expectancy that you will be faced with opposition. But remember that if someone is combative towards you, to stay in your light, okay? Stay in your power. Put up protection and allow yourself to just stay strong and charged in your own energy. There's no need to fight about what's true, okay? And there's no need to fight about feelings. So some of you also could be in the search for the truth, and now that you're seeing the light ahead, you're going to have to maybe step on some toes and bump a few shoulders in order to stay in that light and in that truth, okay? So, and it says here, so be it. Getting there is what is important. So for some of you, you may be that type that's not combative and that doesn't like confrontation, and this could be the energy prodding and showing you like, hey, it's time for you to step up and take action, because if you don't, this devil energy coming back might be just enough to push you back down into that box in which you tried so hard to burst out of, okay? So for the visitor, this is Gemini to Cancer energy. Wow, these cards are coming out literally in order. So again, we moved past Gemini energy and are now in Cancer season. So this card meaning pleasure-loving Venus denotes comfort and security in relationships, while unsettling Uranus signifies sudden and unexpected events that move us out of familiar, tried, and trusted methods or routines. When these two planets conjoin, there are bound to be surprises all around and unusual occurrences, especially in the area of relationships. If you draw this card, it indicates that a new or unexpected social contact or relationship will be formed that has a bearing on the matter in question. A hand of friendship will be or has been offered from a most unlikely quarter. This card can also signify an attraction to someone who is not the sort of person you would usually choose to socialize with. So whatever context that might be for you, some of you could very well be actually getting a visitor, okay? Some of you who have been waiting for it, who've been manifesting it, wanting your divine masculine to reach out to you, this could be the time in which that actually happens for you, okay? Depending on the work that you've both done and on your specific journey, some of you may be experiencing that currently, okay? Either way, something unexpected is going to be happening during this time, forming bonds with even not just one person, but people in general that you might not have expected to form, okay? I think like the visitor, I think of aliens, right? Someone who is alien to you, someone who is not like you, someone who you wouldn't normally cross paths with and stick around. Someone has made an impact on someone, and as you can see, this tapping on the shoulder, the getting the attention of, some of you might be receiving a really unexpected message moving forward, okay? So with the black moon in air, this is the card of revision, okay? So there is no visible moon in the sky during this phase. Her luminous face is turned away from the earth, and only at the time of an eclipse can you see that she is still there. I love that it mentions only at the time of the eclipse, and we just went through 2 eclipses. So basically, for some of you, because of this energy of the eclipse, you are getting that second chance that I was talking about in my last collective reading. It's all coming together, guys. I'm thinking of that Emperor's New Groove, Cusco's whatever his name is, Crunk, the meme. About it all coming together. Like, for some of you, this could be a full circle coming into fruition, okay? So traditionally, this is a period when nothing good happens. It is a time to revise your ideas and consider the direction your life is taking. So whether this is something good or bad that's coming for you, it is time to go back to the drawing board. It's time to go back and think about the ways in which you've handled these situations in the past and make the proper adjustments to move things forward in the way that you want them to, okay? So for some of you who feel like these cards here are like a bad omen coming your way, remember that everything that's meant to happen is meant to happen, okay? And if there's something negative coming your way, it's you and the way you handle these situations that's important, okay? We are always being brought to tests and trials and tribulations in our lives, but based on the past, now you have learned the lessons, you have seen the truth, and you are powerful and strong enough to be able to battle those energies and to win, okay? So hopefully this reading resonated with some of you out there. I'm still kind of floored at the way that some of the cards just came out and the energy that presented itself repetitively in the reading. But then again, I've been doing this long enough to know, like I said, you just cannot make this shit up. So for those of you who have been waiting, I am going to... I know you hear the shaking of the... Oh, a feather just came out of the bucket. Oh my goodness, y'all. So for those of you, I take that as a sign of good faith, that my angels are watching over me, that I'm on the right path. And for those of you who know me personally, today is actually the 13th anniversary of my godfather who passed away, my uncle, and he is the person who I have felt so connected to through the years, regardless of whether he was on the earthly plane or in the spiritual realm. So yeah, I love that feather just popped out. Anyways, guys, let me dig and get a name for the winner. And so not only does the winner receive the Moon Oracle, but they will also receive a free tarot reading of their choice, as well as a custom piece of wire wrap gemstone jewelry, which, by the way, you guys, I've been really amping up on my evil eyes recently, and I just made this bracelet since it is Pride going on right now. But yeah, I've got a lot of new things that I also need to upload to my shop, but we can work on whatever you are thinking of. Anyways, so the winner is Tara Lou. So Tara Lou, I think this is an Instagram handle, by the way. So if this is you, please reach out to me and let me know. Send me an email or direct message me and claim your prize. So congratulations. And again, guys, thank you so much for those of you who have stuck with me all this time. And for those of you who are just joining, I love you guys so much. And I wish you nothing but the best as you experience the energy of the full super moon in Capricorn. I love you guys. Bye.